What was that moment like when you got the final call that you were getting the job here at South Florida? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah, so it wasn't a call. We were in my living room in Knoxville, and had a couple people from here, and I said, "Well, let me take a night, think through it," and they said, "How about an hour?" and I'm like, "Well, I got to talk to my wife and my kiddos," and actually a really cool moment because that had been a week. That entire week after that last game, we obviously talked to a lot of different people, met with a lot of different people. And to be honest with you, I think maybe even as late as that Thursday night of that week, we had made a decision, hey, we're going to stay. We're going to stay in Knoxville, and we loved our time. We loved the city. I loved working with Josh. I loved the staff we built. I loved the players we built. We were doing something pretty incredible there that hadn't been done there in a while. And it was really that Friday morning where they called here and said, hey, we want to come up to Knoxville and sit down and talk through this. And I thought I'd have a night, and they said, yeah, an hour. And me and my wife went to the bedroom, and it was a cool moment in the sense of it was really her and the kids that were like, Dad, we got you. Whatever you want to do, we got your back, and we'll roll. And maybe sounds a little sappy, but I wanted my kiddos to be in it, and they're the ones that it's hard for. Yeah. Me and all my buddies are here coaching ball. You know, they got to pick up and move, which they had just done 2 years prior, and they had done it a year prior to that as well. And so it was a matter of taking a middle school girl and taking her away, which I don't know if anybody in here has dealt with middle school girls. It's a different animal. And it was her saying, man, I got you. We got your back. We're going to go do this. And honestly, an emotional moment in a lot of ways. And because you pick up and you go, and your wife is the one that's moving, changing schools, picking up her whole life and moving. Yeah. And I think as the kiddos have gotten older, that's been harder to do. And when they said, man, we got your back, and my wife said, let's do this. Could be worse, right? We could be moving not to Tampa, Florida.
Yeah. It makes it easier.
Yeah, but they also just watched us go through a year one at Tennessee, which was as hard as anything I'd ever done. And we had just done this at UCF 4 years prior, had just walked into a year one at Iowa State, which reminds me a lot of this. 4 years prior to that, had just walked into a year one at Illinois. Like, it was like this revolving door of year ones, and year ones destroy you. Yeah. Like, you've coached, you know, like you played, like year ones physically, mentally, emotionally can destroy you. And so I needed them to say, man, like, we got you. And again, maybe a little bit unique because
I got a big announcement. I just released my brand new resource for anyone trying to get recruited to play college football. Whether you're a player, the coach of a player, a parent of a player, this resource will help you learn everything you need to know to dominate the college football recruiting process. It's called the Get Coaches to Call Game Plan, and inside I'll reveal the secrets that top recruits use to make dynamic highlight videos and get in touch with coaches, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide for how to get coaches to notice you and reach out to you. The best part is that it's totally free. All I need is your name and your email. Check the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Again, maybe a little bit unique because I don't know if a single time in my career have I ever said, man, I got to be a head coach by this time, or I got to be a coordinator by, like, I learned at a really, really young age, like, be where your feet are, shut your mouth, work. Yeah. And I think that's probably missing in our profession in a lot of ways, but I never felt the pressure to say, man, I got to be a head coach, and I got to do it at a certain place, or I got to do it by this time. Like, I was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, and man, like, so honored to be there. Like, that's an incredible place, an incredible job with some incredible people. And so I always felt fortunate to be there. I never was in a hurry to leave, and it was going to take something really, really special and unique for me to say, man, like, I'm going to uproot my family one more time to walk into a situation where you knew how much work it was going to be. Yeah. And so I never got a call. I had an hour, and literally I said, if you're coming, plane takes off in an hour, you're on it or you ain't. And so it was a good recruiting tactic. I like it. I actually took some notes on that. But
yeah, you got an hour.
we're glad we got it.